Welcome to the video. I am Shelby with Mosul Martial Arts in Port Orange, Florida. Please like, subscribe, and click the little bell icon so we can kick our way up the algorithm. Also, please feel free to like the Mosul Martial Arts Facebook page at facebook.com Mosul Martial Arts. I am personally on Facebook myself at facebook.com/Shelby the Blue-Eyed Samurai, where I share some of my personal philosophies on martial arts, personal training, psychology, and of course, family life. Feel free to request me as a friend, or if you want to keep your Facebook private and still want to see mine, just hit the like button. Today, I'd like to talk about several hundred questions I have received, and most likely other martial art instructors have gotten over the years. These questions go something like this. My child isn't focused. Will martial arts help? My child is not listening at home. Will martial arts help? My child is unorganized. Will martial arts help? My child is lazy. Will martial arts help? My child has ADHD. Will martial arts help? My child is being bullied. Will martial arts help? My child is making bad grades. Will martial arts help? See where I am going with this? The answer to every one of those questions is yes, martial arts will help with these issues, but no, martial arts will not come close to fixing these behaviors or problems by itself. There's an old African proverb that goes, "It takes a village to raise a child." Martial arts will, in fact, do its part, but so will the school teacher, religious leader, sports coach, and mental health therapist. But the two main influencers in a child's life is the mother and the father, and in my humble opinion, kids need both masculine and feminine energy to grow up balanced. Grandparents may also help with this. First, I'd like to give an example of how everything I've mentioned starts in the home. Last night, I went to my youngest son's middle school open house. One of the required classes for advanced students in middle school is a class called AVID. AVID is an acronym that stands for Advanced via Individual Determination. AVID is an in-school academic college prep support program that prepares students for college eligibility and success. The main goal is to help get the student organized. At the open house, the teacher respectfully requested, or more or less begged us parents to help our students be organized. The AVID teacher can teach our kids these organizational skills, but her 55-minute class Monday through Friday, not including student holidays, isn't going to do much if these skills are not followed up on or reinforced at home. The same goes for what is learned anywhere. So to answer the above questions, yes, martial arts will help if your child is unorganized, unfocused, lazy, with bad grades by backing up the parent and the school teacher. This is why students have to get a parent and a teacher to sign off on their belt promotions at Mosul Martial Arts, so we can act as backup at home and at school. But parents have to be on board with this as well for it to work. Years ago, I had a 5th grade student going up for her next belt. She was having some issues at home that her father was sharing with me, and she was also struggling on the mat with some behavioral issues. Nothing that was too major, just things that was keeping her from testing months prior. She got her act together for about a month prior to this particular testing, so she got a testing permission form. Her father proudly signed off on it, and she took it to school, and her teacher wrote back that he cannot in good conscience sign off on her testing form. Her behavior was undesirable. She brought the paper back, and I told her that she would not be able to test until she changed her attitude at school. The next day, her father brought her into my office and demanded that I allowed her to test. Of course, I told the father she would not be testing. His argument was that he pays me to teach her and that I had the final say on who was allowed to test at Mosul Martial Arts. He even threatened to pull her out of the program if I did not allow her to test. I told him that I could see
He was frustrated and even angry, and I felt that he had displaced anger towards me. I also told him if it was my daughter, I would want to know why the teacher could not sign off on her permission form. I also informed him that while asking the teacher why he couldn't sign off, that I would not displace my anger on him either. The father did not pull his daughter out of Mosul martial arts. 2 months later, we had another testing, and the teacher wrote a long note on her permission form saying that he didn't know what we did to change her behavior, but it worked. She was now one of his best behaved students. All we really did was follow through. To answer some of the other questions, martial arts can help your child with ADHD as long as you, the parent, is following the treatment plan set up by the psychiatrist, psychologist, mental health therapist, behavior specialist, or case manager. By itself, an hour-long martial arts class once a day probably won't have much effect on ADHD. If your child is talking back, yes, martial arts can back up the parents. In fact, there has been many a time when I sat in my office with a parent and a student, almost co-parenting because the student wasn't behaving at home. It's on the parent, but I was the backup. I hope this helps. Martial arts is a wonderful thing for a lot of people. As an instructor, I have helped a lot of parents with a lot of students. The key word there is helped. It has been an honor to be part of that process.